Hello and happy magical Monday. It is Michelle Orwick and I'm actually coming to you live from our beautiful Madeira beach. It's a little windy here, so forgive me for the crazy hair. But I'm here at this beautiful beach and I'm having myself a little bit of a staycation. We had an amazing weekend that we just finished. Rima and Marissa and I just held Priestess Camp back in Orlando, and we had this like really intense, beautiful, transformative weekend with our oil anointing priestesses this weekend. And so we're here just kind of getting ourselves recalibrated. I don't know about you, but the second I hit the sound of the ocean, it starts recalibrating my nervous system. It's just so incredible. And so happy October. And for all of us that have been waiting for October, it's finally here. Yay! And of course that means we are now officially entering into the eclipse portal for October. So we closed down the supermoon energy. We're in the last few days of that intense supermoon that happened over the weekend. So if you have like a little bit of a full moon hangover, that's kind of normal right now. We are now going into what I would call normal full moons again, where they're not so close to the earth, except this next full moon will be a full moon eclipse in Taurus. It will happen on this Saturday at the end of this month, on the final Saturday of October, and it will be really a completely different energy than the supermoons. The supermoons for me are usually a good time for manifesting, or as Rima said this weekend, woo manifesting. So if depending on who you are, whether that's appropriate for you, you can take that new terminology and do with it what you may. But this week is going to have that kind of recalibration, because we'll have a new moon at the end of next week. We have Friday the 13th, and then a new moon in Libra eclipse next weekend, which will be happening on the weekend next weekend. So what that means is this week and even most of next week, it's time to sort of settle down your nervous system. Just like I said sort of at the beginning of the video, it's important that you realign. It's important that you recalibrate, and it is important that you kind of decide what you are intending for the rest of this year. This being the first week of October, really, quite frankly, this is that, beginning of the last quarter of 2023. So what is it you set out to do in 2023? Is there anything that needs to be let go of? Is there anything that needs to be finished and completed? Is there anything that is kind of outdated? And is there anything you're just holding on to, like gripping with, like by the seat of your pants? And I also notice it's Libra season. So we're in this place where what is it we can do to have better relationship with your money, better relationship with your body, better relationship with your God mind, your internal intuitive mind, which is really powerful right now. If you've had heightened intuition, extensive dreaming, that's going to continue through this portal season. And so instead of sort of saying, no, that's not such a big deal, let yourself actually lean into What is it I'm dreaming about? This season has a lot of Venus energy. There's Taurus full moon ruled by Venus at the end of the month, and you're in Libra season with that new moon in Libra. So both eclipses, even though they're different, astrological sign, both of them are ruled by Venus. So these eclipses are going to be all about your financial future, abundance codes. They're going to have to do with your romantic relationships, your relationship with your body. Are you in sovereignty in your body? Are you in balance? So it's balancing your relationships. Are you out of sync with, maybe you're putting too much time into your relationships at work. Maybe you're putting too much time into your relationship. I've seen people completely like get into a new love relationship and forget work or their friends. So really, how do we come into balance? How do we come into sovereignty? And how do we come into coherence? Coherence is absolutely going to get you everywhere. What do I mean by coherence? That's where you're checking, is it good in your heart and in your brain, and actually aligning your body that way. The brain-heart connection, and feeling the full breath of life in alignment to your heart, in alignment to your mind's eye, and starting to let your heart rule, starting to feel your coherent field actually be that which magnetizes what you're working toward. There's a state of being that is created when you're in coherence in your body, when your body is aligned. And I do mean like literally spinal alignment. There is truly God's source in your spine. It is probably one of the most important things to remember, is sitting straight up and pulling that cord through the top of your head, feeling your pelvic bowl and your shoulders and everything start lining up your body. You're actually at that point going to start seeing alignment in your field, which is around you, and like literally you can feel the edge start to glow, because it comes in and up through your heart into your mind's eye and circle you, and then come back in like a donut. That's literally the field that is created around you. And when you're coherent and you're in balance and you're in harmony in your body, you're going to attract things into that field. It was finally proven inside the field, or the matrix was actually proven in 2012 scientifically. So that which the metaphysics have been talking about forever is now real scientific fact. We have a field that is generated not from our mind. The center of this field is from our heart. We actually have neurons in our heart, and that brings everything around you into harmony when you're in harmony. When you're in disharmony, when you're out of alignment, when you are feeling stress, when you're feeling angry, when you're feeling like you want to just kick something or throw something, that is going to bring those type of things into your field. So if you do not feel peace in your body, you will not feel peace in your world, and that is not what you will call into. You can do all the work with law of attraction you ever wanted, but if you do not harmonize your body, if you're not in the physical state and the higher physical vibration, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to manifest. So we forget to treat our body as a temple. And it was so beautiful spending the weekend with these amazing, there were 10 of us for the weekend, and these amazing women each one of us created a body temple practice where we would connect to our fullness and our full potential. And you could literally see from the beginning of the weekend to the end of the weekend this transformation of the energy field around the person. You could see the halos being created around their crown chakras. You could see this field of light. It was so interesting to me to have this visceral, very, very potent experience where in real sight I could see the shift and the change in their posture, in their hearts, in just the amount of smiles they had. We did a ceremony in the swimming pool. And remember, water is the conduit for spirit. And so this particular saltwater swimming pool, we were at the Center Street Center for the Heart in Altamont Springs. Just an amazing place. And they had this beautiful saltwater pool. And of course, the saltwater had been under this potent, harvest moon for days on end. And Saturday night, we were in this ceremony. We did a fire ceremony and a water ceremony. And each one of us were held as our sisters sang and held us in the water, just completely supported our bodies and sang to us. And in that we could see the purification. We could feel the letting go and the release of things like control and outdated programming. And when that happens on Sunday, I could see these women, their auric field had become twice as big as when they started. So that is the coherent field that is created when you harmonize and align and get control of how you feel in your heart. And that is done through these practices. So all I can say is that these next couple of weeks, it's really important to go into that Libra new moon eclipse in a way that brings your state of being, your state of mind, and your physical harmony in alignment so that you can capitalize on these beautiful codes that are coming in to create new relationship. That's really the key of these two eclipses, is new relationship. And it's powerful. I'm going to talk more about it next week. Of course, I'll be talking about it all month. If it's something that really calls to you to go a little deeper and you want some help, there's some opportunity to be supported in that. I do have the White Rose Gates actually opening next week. It'll be on Monday nights twice a month to support this season through the end of the year. So we do have that running this month only. You'll have to join by October 9th, and it'll be October, November, and December. And there'll be 2 calls on Monday nights at 7 p.m. to support this transformation, this purification process, this alignment, this indwelling God essence, or as I call it, Goddess, which will allow you to step into that full potential, to be able to capitalize on it. So of course that is available to you. If you feel like you need more than that, I have 2 open coaching slots right now for anybody who's wanting to be supported through the end of the year. I just completed 2 people, so that is, I have just 2 slots. You'd have to private message me if you're open and you need to do some coaching and you want to be ready for 2024. This would be the time to do it. because I just opened the doors to 2 spaces. And once those 2 are gone, I probably won't be taking any more coaching till the end of the year. So that's how I can support you. In the meantime, simple practices like breathing with your eyes closed, the upward breath, as I call it, where you squeeze your perineum together, or you do a Kegel or a Hunyin motion, and you straighten your spine and you align, drop your shoulders and align your heart, and bring your breath through your heart to your mind's eye and out the top of your head. And imagine it almost like a donut, just coming up and out and around you, breathing up and out and around you. I suggest you set your phone on a timer, and you do this for up to 2 to 5 minutes. It takes 2 minutes to reset your nervous system. However, it sometimes takes us a minute or 2 to get into that theta brainwave that does the reset. So that's why I think 5 minutes is the sweet spot. And most people can find 5 minutes, even in a busy, hectic day. I was having a very, very crazy busy day on Friday as we were getting ready for everybody to come into the retreat center. We had, I had all these different moving parts happening. And one thing that I did was I just took a couple minutes. I went into the room that I was staying in. I hadn't unpacked a bag. I hadn't created any of the altars, and there was all these things that needed to be done. But I just really sat down, took 5 minutes to myself to realign. And I guarantee that 5 minutes made me 10 times more aligned, more productive, and less cranky. I wasn't cranky yet, but if I hadn't taken that 5 minutes, I absolutely could have become all caught up in some form of panic. Instead, I was just like, but of course, everything's working out for me. And it really did. We were on the minute. We finished and completed our prayer over our altar at 2:02, and the first person walked in the door at 2:05. So this is how it works and rolls for me. So get into alignment this portal season. If you do that, this portal season will take you for a very long journey. It's the beginning of the Libra eclipses, and it's the end of the Taurus eclipses. So if you're affected by either of those signs, take extra note and remember to be gracious to yourself, be gracious to others, and be extra gracious to the people you are in community with. How do you want to be in relationship? How do you want to show up for yourself and for others? And kind of remember, everybody's going to be eclipsed. And so this portal season really starts right now. We have entered that portal as we close down the 3 days of the full harvest moon. We literally today being the 2nd of October, start that process that will go all the way through until the first full moon in November. And this also means that we have the 11/11 portal, which is included in this eclipse season because it is in the dark moon before the next new moon. So that 11/11 day will be a true powerhouse of a day as well. So we have October 13th. So we'll have a Friday the 13th this year, which will be a dark moon right before an eclipse. You're going to have the Libra eclipse on that Sunday. You're going to have the full moon eclipse on the 26th, and then it will kind of end with that 11/11 portal right before the new moon. So there's a lot going on, and I want you to capitalize it and create some alignment within yourself, within your heart, within your coherent field, and within your relationships. I love you. I'll see you again next week. And as always, live magically.